You ready?
Yeah.
Welcome into Rover Sports, and we are joined by SBTUBE52, and I guess that must be for Ray Lewis. Is that for Ray Lewis?
Yeah, it's Ray Lewis. I'm a big Ravens fan here. Yeah.
I gotcha. You guys, I mean, kind of a tough loss to the Steelers, but you guys seem like a team, and I was having this conversation. You guys, the Baltimore Ravens, seem like a team that if you get into the playoffs, magic can happen.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that, but as a Ravens fan, to be honest, I'm not so sure about that. After seeing what I saw yesterday, I like the way we played, but at the same time, we lost to the Steelers the same way we did last year on Christmas Day. So I'm not so sure about that. But you never know with Joe Flacco. You know, he always does good in the playoffs, so we definitely will see.
And he did really well against the Steelers. Like I remember in the last playoff game he was in, Joe Flacco. And I guess you guys were missing your starting corner, Jimmy Reed. So for some reason they didn't double Antonio Brown. That was beyond me.
Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, Jimmy Smith. And they didn't get Antonio Brown. They should have doubled that guy. I mean, you know, MVP candidate there.
Well, they put Brandon Carr, the veteran, on him rather than putting Marlon Humphrey, the rookie. I thought they should have put him on him because he's been having a good season so far. And he only allowed 37 yards towards his way. So,
Right.
But you got to give Big Ben a lot of credit because he threw a lot of passes to the sideline. He put them right on the money where the safety Eric Weddle couldn't come over and help towards the sideline. Mm-hmm. So he put the ball right on the money in places that was quite incredible.
You guys remember when Ben Roethlisberger, too, like the national media, like after the Jaguar game, do you guys remember what the national media was saying about Big Ben, how that dude is done?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's unbelievable, right? Like how Big Ben is back. Did you guys ever doubt in Big Ben?
Go ahead.
I did a little bit, I'll be honest. I wasn't sure if he had much left. We've been saying all season that this is Big Ben's final year. We believe that no matter how good he does, at the end of the season, he'll make a surprise retirement announcement. Of course, we don't know if this is going to be the case, but it's very possible, especially with the way his body's been beaten up over all these years. He's gotten injuries all over the place, from the ribs to the legs to concussion to feet, all over the place. So he's been real banged up.
You also got him.
I think I might agree with that. You know, no matter what, you know, this might be Big Ben's last year, but he definitely has an opportunity. So you guys are both you guys, SBTUBE52, again, Ray Lewis is the inspiration for the channel. Like, when did you guys want to create your own YouTube channel? And I guess, like, do you guys ever both give your names? Because I haven't even found out your names really, you know, with your channel.
Well, my name's Curtis, and
my name's Donald.
Yeah, so we started a couple months ago over the summer. You know, I always wanted to do a YouTube channel. Wasn't sure what direction we would go into, but I'm a big sports fan, and we're both big sports fans. So over the summer, wanted to start it. I told my brother about it, and he was like, "No, I don't want to do this." So I just started on my own, and then he just kind of went along with it, you know. And we really wanted to do something for the people. We wanted to have people, not the same big media outlets all the time, something small, something where we could connect with a sports audience and really communicate with the people.
And then
first, he was telling me, "Oh, we should do a YouTube channel." He was holding up his phone, pretending like he had a YouTube channel. I was like, "You don't have a YouTube channel." And then he was like, "Yeah, I know." And he just up and started, and I was just like, "Might as well just do it. Might as well just try it. Something to do and something to try. Something interesting to try, actually, as you probably know."
Yeah, might as well just hop on in. And I mean, it's pretty easy to just fire up a video. And I think the toughest step is just getting it off the ground, of course, just starting it. But once you get that small, intimate audience like you're talking about, even if you just have a couple of subscribers, couple hundred subscribers, you guys will get the comments and you guys will make these bonds. And really, you know, I could say this with YouTube videos I watch. You know, when they answer your comments and everything, it just means the world to you, you know, to just see like, guys, you enjoy pumping out those videos. So it's Darnold, right?
Donald,
not Sam Darnold. Donald. I got you. So Donald, I want to ask you a question. You're rocking the old Villanova. Well, you're rocking the throwback of Brian Westbrook, a legend in this city of Philadelphia here. And B. West, was he one of your first loves as a football player? Brian Westbrook. What about the relationship? What do you think about Westbrook?
Oh, I think Westbrook was a very good runner. I believe that he could go east and west and north and south. I thought he was a guy who could catch the ball in the backfield, perhaps a predecessor to Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell is a little bit better than Westbrook was. And it was very unfortunate whenever he fell downhill, like in 2009. He got 2 concussions that year, and he just went from being one of the top running backs to being – he just went really downhill quickly. And to see him and McNabb, though, go at the top and play at the top of the league the way that they were, like with that 2008 NFC Championship run where they lost to the Arizona Cardinals, that was very interesting to watch. And I was only in elementary school at that time, so I was little.
Yeah, that game, they came all the way back, if you remember, and they beat the Giants, in 08. I remember that year, and, I'll admit I'm a Giants fan if you guys watch my videos, so that was kind of painful. That was a little painful, 2008. But what do you think about Donovan McNabb? Like, a lot of people think McNabb's kind of sour to the city of Philadelphia, especially with Carson Wentz. There's maybe a little bit of animosity. But what do you think about Donovan McNabb?
I love Donovan McNabb. I think that those Philly fans who are harsh on Donovan McNabb are probably the same Philly fans who booed him at the draft. Donovan McNabb has had a rough go at it over the years. And I know Philly's a tough love type of city, but I believe that Donovan McNabb has given the city a lot. A Super Bowl appearance. This team only has 2 in their whole history. So to give that city a Super Bowl appearance along with 5 NFC title game appearances, I don't think there's anything you can really say against them.
No Super Bowls.
Go ahead, Curtis.
No Super Bowls. I think he's a good quarterback. He made a lot of good plays throughout his career, but no Super Bowls. If you got to be able to win Super Bowls. Now, will he make the Hall of Fame? Probably so. But just like the Ravens quarterback, Joe Flacco, he's got a ring. He didn't get a ring for the Eagles. That's the only knock on him. But Eagles fans, they still should be glad and appreciate what he did for the city of Philadelphia at the same time.
I think so. I mean, with him and Andy Reid. But the problem was in the big games, whether it was the Carolina game and whether it was the Tampa Bay games, the NFC Championships, he seems apathetic at the big moment. Like, he doesn't seem like he never was a guy that was willing to, like, dive for a first down, get fired up. He just kind of seemed to go for the motions, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's what T.O. was really upset with them about. That whole rift where T.O. and McNabb didn't get along, and T.O. basically got suspended for the rest of 2005 and all that.
Exactly. So, Curtis, I wanted to ask you a question. You look at your brother and you look at, brother Donald, and you look at Philadelphia and from a Baltimore perspective, and are you like, these fans are too impatient, these fans are crazy passionate, or are you like, how do you kind of view Philadelphia? Are they too much for you? Or as a Baltimore fan, you're like, I kind of wish our fans would be a little more impatient too, because I'm tired of going like 8-8, 9-7. What do you think?
Well, I'm definitely tired of going 8-8, 9-7. Like you said, there definitely needs to be a change. But Philadelphia fans, they're very passionate. But I will say this, they're the same fans that booed Santa Claus. Okay, so that's a little bit too far. I think sometimes they're too harsh on their team, which can be a detriment at times, because that's too much. That's like playing a road game for 16 games straight if you're a bad football team. But they really get behind their team whenever they're good. Like this year, Eagles fans are rocking. So being a brother of an Eagles fan, he's not quite as devourous, if that's the correct word to use, as most Eagles fans. He's more laid back. Mm-hmm. But if you really get a bunt around a whole bunch of crazy Eagles fans, and you're not an Eagles fan, you just want to slowly go in the back corner of the room because you want to be a part of that.
They're doing well. You kind of just want to drift to the back. I could totally understand. I think it's because of the Super Bowls too, and because of the drought and just how disappointing and getting your hopes up with them. And I wanted to ask, I guess, Donald, this question. Now with Carson Wentz out, do you still think Nick Foles can win some playoff games?
I really do. I really believe that Nick Foles can come out and win some playoff games. I know that probably a lot of the people are sick of Eagles fans referring back to Nick Foles' amazing 2013 season whenever he had 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 119 passer rating, which led the whole NFL that season. I know people are sick of it, but I believe that Nick Foles has been through some garbage coaches like Chip Kelly and
Jeff Fisher.
St. Louis, yeah. Those two coaches are very harsh on him, and I believe that they threw him by the wayside. Back then, I used to tell my brother that I believe that Nick Foles had the potential to be an elite quarterback in the NFL. I believe that he might have some of that left in him, and especially the way Philly's defense has been playing under Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator. I believe that all he has to do is maybe be half of what he used to be, maybe be a game manager, maybe like a Dak Prescott when he had Elliott. And I believe that the Eagles can win some playoff games, especially if they're at home.
Now, Curtis, which teams in the NFC should your brother fear in the playoffs?
Man, it's definitely a team like the Atlanta Falcons. I predicted the Falcons to go to the Super Bowl prior to the season because I know they lost offensive coordinator, but at the same time, they still have everyone in place. They still have that young defense, that running back, Devonta Freeman. They still have the MVP quarterback. Now, if you want to be able to beat an MVP quarterback in the playoffs, you got to have one of your own. And I think a lot of people are underestimating the fact of how good Carson Wentz has been this season. He's only thrown 6 interceptions, so I believe it's like 29 touchdowns or something like that. So when you take him out of the offense, that changes everything. And that also changes the defense because then they got to be on the field longer. Things have changed a lot since Nick Foles was on that team. So I look at the Falcons, I look at the Minnesota Vikings who are playing really good defense. Teams, even the Carolina Panthers who have Cam Newton. I like what I saw out of them the other day against the Minnesota Vikings. They look like they're Super Bowl form again. That Cam Newton run at the end of the game, we sealed the game pretty much. That was incredible.
That was classic Superman Cam. It really was, with that fake pitch and everything. You know?
Yeah.
Curtis, but you didn't mention the one team that I would fear, that I think is really the NFC favorite, and that's Drew Brees, Super Bowl champion, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. I mean, Donald, back me up, man. Those Saints, I mean, you don't want Drew Brees in the playoffs. I mean, Matt Ryan's never won a road playoff game. You guys really are – you're not really afraid of the Saints?
You be my guest. I don't believe the Saints are going to do it. I really don't. Not saying that the Saints aren't good this year. They've been really doing good behind that rookie running back, Kamara. I believe that Drew Brees has the playoff experience. But I believe at the end of the day, they're not quite as complete like a team at Philadelphia. I don't quite trust their defense in the same way that I trust a Philadelphia or a Minnesota. And I know Sean Payton can probably bring this team together, but you saw what happened in Atlanta the other night, and that was quite embarrassing for that team.
You think Sean Payton can get this team together? I mean, he's got to start by stop running on the field at the end of the game. You know, that was a bad penalty, and that sends a bad message to the team for sure, running on the field. So I do think they're going to win the division because if you look at their schedule, they have to play the Falcons again. I think they win that because they got embarrassed in the last game. I think they're at home. They'll be able to win that. But as far as getting to the Super Bowl, we're not on the bandwagon.
All righty, guys. Hey, you guys were a ton of fun to talk to. I got one more question here. I'm going to throw it to Curtis. So, Baltimore Ravens, I'm really surprised. I think Baltimore's a sleeper team in the playoffs. I'm not as sold on the Pittsburgh-New England guaranteed AFC championship. I mean, so I'm going to ask you guys, can any teams beat Pittsburgh and New England? I have my thoughts, but what do you guys think about the AFC? Is it just Pittsburgh and New England?
Well, like you said, if there's anybody who can beat Pittsburgh or New England, it would be Baltimore. Because Baltimore's the type of team, you know, they've done it before. Joe Flacco has done great in the playoffs. I've enjoyed the Ravens Super Bowl ride back in 2012. But to be as an honest fan, if I look at the team internally, we spent all offseason to try to fix the defense. Because last year we gave it up at Heinz Field on Christmas Day, which is extremely painful. So we went out. We signed a Brandon Carr. We drafted a Marlon Humphrey. I believe we spent our first 4 picks on defense, and we completely neglected the offense. And what did the defense do against Pittsburgh? We allowed 500 passing yards to Roethlisberger, 200 receiving yards to Antonio Brown, and 2 touchdowns to Le'Veon Bell. So we actually did worse. So I don't think that we'll be able to – I think we can play against New England and Pittsburgh, but at the end of the day, the Ravens don't seem to have that finishing ability. And I don't think they'll be able to finish against one of those teams. So I think it will be, in the end of the day, New England and Pittsburgh. And I think Pittsburgh actually wins next week at Heinz Field and gets #1 overall seed. And they might slip in the Super Bowl. I hate to say it as a Ravens fan, but I'm an honest fan, and I have to tell you the truth.
I actually think that you're actually undercutting the fact that that young Jaguars team might be able to upset a team like a Pittsburgh or New England. Now, I think it's more likely that they upset Pittsburgh. You saw what they did to Big Ben. Didn't he throw 5 interceptions? Yeah, 5 interceptions, a couple pick sixes. I believe that Jaguars front 7, and along with that good secondary, the whole defense basically can press the team to the limit, get on their nerves, get under their skin, and make some good big hits. Now, on the offensive side, they have a bruising running back, Fournette, a rookie who's been one of the best in the league this year. Now, Blake Bortles is probably their only concern, but at the same time, he's been playing a lot better than he has before. But I'm not quite certain how he'll play in the playoffs. But a team built like Baltimore and Jacksonville may upset some people this season. They might.
I definitely hope so. I mean,
yeah, maybe exactly. Jacksonville's a very likable team. They have the defense. Leonard Fournette will have to run the ball. They'll have to win like Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez. It's just I've never seen Blake Bortles play all that well. He'll look, decent one week, and then against Arizona, he'll resort back to pretty much the Blake Bortles we've seen throughout his entire career. And even in the preseason, guys, I mean, if you checked Twitter after the Tampa Bay game, I'd say 90% of the Jags fans wanted Bortles gone. But give credit to Blake, give credit to Doug Marrone for sticking with him. I actually think if I had to choose, guys, my team in the AFC that could kind of come out of nowhere is a team that, like, during the past couple of weeks, people have completely written them off. But a team that I think can get hot at the right time is the Kansas City Chiefs. And they host They host LA this week in Arrowhead. I think Kansas City will at least win one playoff game and will be a challenge.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Alex,
you're not feeling it. You're feeling it. You guys think LA will even win that division? Is that true? You guys think the Chargers?
Yeah. Okay. I think the Chargers are hot right now, and the Kansas City Chiefs are really cold. But maybe they will be able to win.
I'll take that. You guys have been awesome. SBTUBE52, Curtis and Donald, man. Pleasure meeting you guys. And anytime, man, you guys can come on the channel. We can even talk basketball. These guys talk NBA and NFL football. These guys are awesome. Check them out. And thank you guys for watching Rover Sports.
Thank you, man.